going to talk about reverse warrior. So it is sometimes called dancing warrior because it goes into a flow with the other warrior poses. I really like this pose. I like to use it with extended side angle because it balances out. You're stretching out both sides in each direction. So if you're performing this on the left, you're going to get both sides of the body and then you switch. I like the combination, and it does flow really nicely. If you guys haven't noticed it, I tend to put that into a lot of classes. So we're going to come into our lower body stance here. So we're lifting through that back ankle, engaging all the way up to the pelvis, right? Those inner thigh muscles, those hip adductors. We're sealing off through the outside edge of that foot. We're grounding down through that front foot, all 3 or 4 corners, depending on your opinion on that. So we're not bringing this knee too far forward. We're keeping that in check. We're engaging the glutes, right? These lateral rotators are engaged. We're opening up the chest, broadening across the sternum or breastbone and the clavicles or collarbones. Okay, so we're really going to get settled here. And so if we take this from warrior 2, we're pressing the hands down, right, lifting the sternum. We can slide the back hand down the back leg and lift. So this is our reverse warrior, okay? Now, a couple different things. You don't want to crunch these ribs because if you start, okay, here we go, and you're not paying attention, you're just going to collapse, which we don't want to do. That's not a good plan. So we can come here. We're going to slide this hand down as we lift this one. Now notice that the hand position, we're rolling, we're keeping that lateral rotation as much as we can in the shoulder so that we're not collapsing into the chest. So we're going to open those intercostals, those rib muscles on this side. So we exhale. We're engaging the legs here, right? So we're creating stability here and we're lengthening, okay? Lengthening through the lats, depending on how tight your rotator cuff is, maybe using some of those and lengthening some of those. That's serratus anterior. Now, there's another option too. So basically, you don't have to come this far down. You want to be in your comfort zone. Some people I know will add a rotation. I don't typically add a rotation. You'd be here and rotate and opening up that more. And it's an option. So on the other side, and I would watch again with a bit of back bend and the high blood pressure. That's a little bit tricky, something to watch there. If you have really high blood pressure, I wouldn't add as much of a back bend or the gaze up. I would keep the gaze straight. So we're going to come on to the other side. Okay, so we have that TFL, that glute main, glute med, piriformis, all those good lateral rotators and hip abductors going on this side. Really settle in here. Roll the shoulders down and back. And so instead of letting this hand just slide, we're going to raise this one up nice and controlled. So think about opening up those ribs, right? Creating length there. And we can grasp the wrist just gently and just gently pull. That's going to give some assistance to that opening. And it helps this side not to collapse and kind of crunch. So it's a really nice flow. You can come into extended side angle from that. You can see how that really creates a nice flow each way. So the palm is coming up towards the ceiling in reverse warrior. We can grab. We want to make sure that we're not collapsing down into the front. Really keeping those shoulder blades in check. So we're using that infraspinatus, right, to keep that shoulder in lateral rotation. We're using that post delt a little bit. We're lengthening the anterior delt. We're using the middle delt or the lateral deltoid. So we have to think about all these things work together. We want to maintain the integrity of the pose and we want to use the proper muscles.